In the city of Chicago, one cold, dark night, a blizzard was a-setting in. And a little boy was selling newspapers on the street corner. Well, he was trying to sell them, but he was so cold. And he wasn't selling many newspapers. And he was watching the people coming in out of the cold, going home to their nice, warm homes. And he thought for a moment, boy, sure would be nice to have a warm place to stay tonight, you know? I'm awful cold. Well, he saw a policeman on the street corner, and he ran up to him and he said, "Mister, you wouldn't happen to know where a poor boy could find a warm place to sleep. You see, I live in a box down the alley and up around the corner, and it sure does get cold there every night. It would be nice to have a warm place to stay tonight." The policeman looked down at the little boy and he said, "Son, you go down, you see that big old white house down yonder? You go over there, you knock on the door, and they'll let you in. When they let you in, you say John 3:16. So he did. He ran down to the door and he walked up the steps and he knocked on the door and he looked up and a lady came to the door and he said, "John 3:16. And she said, "Come on in, son." So she took him in and she sat him down in a big old split-bottom rocker in front of a big old fireplace. And as he sat there, he thought to himself, John 3:16. Well, I don't understand it, but it sure does make this cold boy warm.
Amen.
She came back in and she took him in to a dining room, to a table that was just full of nice food. And she asked him, said, "Are you hungry, son?" He said, "Well, I haven't eaten in a couple of days. I guess I could stand a little bit of food." So she sat him down and he ate till he couldn't eat no more. And as he sat there, he thought to himself, John 3:16. I don't understand it, but it sure does make this hungry boy full. Well, she came back in and she took him upstairs to a bathroom with a tub filled with nice, warm, sudsy water. And he sat there and he soaked. And as he soaked, he thought to himself, John 3:16. Well, I don't understand it, but it sure does make this dirty boy clean. You know, I've not had a bath my whole life. I think the only bath I ever had was when I stood in front of the fire hydrants and they flushed him out. Well, she came and she got him, and she took him up to a bedroom, to a big old feather bed. She tucked him in, pulled up the covers around his neck, turned out the lights, and said goodnight. And as he lay there, he looked out into the dark with the snow coming down so cold outside. He thought to himself, John 3:16. Well, I don't understand it, but it sure does make this tired boy rested. She came back the next morning and she took him down to that table just full of nice food. And again, he ate till he couldn't eat no more. Well, she came and she got him and she took him back to that big old split-bottom rocker and big old fireplace, and she sat him down. And she asked him, said, Son, do you understand John 3:16? He said, Well, no, ma'am. The only time I've ever heard it was when the policeman told me to use it. Well, right there and then, she looked up into his young face, and she explained to him Jesus. And right there and then, in front of that big old fireplace in that split-bottom rocker, he gave his heart and his life to Jesus. Amen. You know, I have to confess also, I don't understand it, how God would be willing to send his son Jesus to die for me.
That's right.
I don't understand how he could put up with the agony that he had to. But you know what? It sure does make this lost person saved.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.